Masako! What about Kakarot's brother? Oh yeah, that. Hey guys, Masako X here. Now I think that this kind of story needs no real significant introduction, as we all know that this entry is one of the most followed stories on this channel. It was something I never really expected to take off, if I'm being honest. The story of Goku's mother was left as an enigma for decades. That is until around 2014, when Akira Toriyama basically thought, oh yeah, babies require mothers. Yeah, I better get on with that. And so we got Gine. And despite the debut manga that she was in being, I don't know how to put this diplomatically, one of the most questionable entries in the world of Dragon Ball, the character herself, though, was received very warmly indeed by all concerned. It's just a shame that she was iced at the same time as a Bo Bardock, but what if we gave her a chance to live on? A chance to be with at least one of the kids and start again. What if Gine went with her son to Earth and escaped the hardships of planet Vegeta? Dragon Ball Super Broly and Dragon Ball Minus were two critical entries in the world of the Dragon Ball universe, as it added key parts of the lore behind Goku's birth. Now named Kakarot for reasons that are obvious if you've been paying attention. That being said, the likes of Bardock were different from their 1990 special, but he got Gine, which isn't so bad if you ask me. Since the very first part, all that time ago, Gine's adventure begun with a bump on the butt and a trip to Earth. From there, she realised that she wasn't just important here. Something that she was told on Vegeta never, but she had been the strongest being on that planet until her own firstborn son arrived. You know, she was stronger than King Piccolo by a mile, and then promptly left, having begun to carve out his own adventure free of Frieza's influence, realising that he was important too. In the last part, Gine had realised her potential and had become the first Super Saiyan in living memory, before even her own son, who was meant to be the one to realise that, as we know from the original. However, this power was still not enough to overwhelm an angry Frieza, who then realised that, oh yes, I am not even fighting at 50% of my total power, so yeah, I'll fix that. The tyrant was about to finish his dismantling of this Saiyan woman's pride, but then her son showed up and did the deed, and did it way more effectively than before. How? Well, no second chances, not like the original. No blowing up the planet. Frieza isn't even given the chance to escape and become Mecha Frieza. No. He is toast. You do not mess with Goku's mama, especially when he saw you doing it. Gine was clinging onto life and her mind when she went Super Saiyan, and she, as well as the others, are now heading home, on the ship that Kakarot and her arrived on, with the Namekians now safe as well, ready to assist Goku and the Earthlings whenever they need their help with the Namekian Dragon Balls. You know, it was a way of saying thanks for saving them from the demise of their own planet at the hands of Lord Frieza. Mind you, they kind of got them stuck in the middle of it to begin with, but hey, no one's thinking about that. But as for Kakarot, he's off to Yardrat, but he's not alone. By the time Goku arrives, the Yardratians recognize the being. Ah yes, he's just like that other being that is currently living there. But more on that later. So, 10 parts, eh? How do we celebrate this achievement? Well, tell you what. We will acknowledge the Garlic Jr. saga in this episode. Oh, let's just have a bit of fun. Don't worry though, it's not the focus of this part, I can assure you. It's just more than a simple sentence around this time. Months after the gang returned to Earth, Gine has fully recovered and spent the time living a very, very quiet life with Grandpa Gohan, a stone's throw away from Kakarot and Chi-Chi's place. That is until the minions of Garlic Jr. arrive and kidnap Gine, whom they've detected to be the strongest being on the planet currently, and suitably fit for purpose for the likes of Garlic Jr. So, in short, instead of Piccolo being controlled by Garlic Jr., it's Gine. Gohan has to be the one to save his grandmother, and is able to do so, with his classic rage boost coming to the fore, and they eventually destroy the Black Water Mist. It's still pretty balmy, because, you know, who cares? Vegeta isn't off searching the cosmos for Kakarot this time around, because he's got his teacher and the ability to go Super Saiyan right there in the form of Gine, who has been snubbing him every single time he's tried to approach her about the topic. Then, licking his wounds, literal wounds, because Gine was able to beat him back, which impressed Grandpa Gohan and Kid Gohan, Vegeta then seeks solace at Capsule Corp, and the relationship between him and Bulma, that one begins to flourish like it does in the original. But what about Yamcha, I hear you say? Well, he was able to stick around for longer, but his flagrant spending and money-driven ways just kind of wore Bulma down as she got older, to the point where, she kind of lost that romantic spark for him. It just fizzled out. Besides, Vegeta's anger was something that she felt emboldened to subdue, and so he would ultimately see the arrival of Baby Trunks. So we're all getting ourselves ready for when the hero of the hour returns. On Yardrat, Kakarot has fully recovered and is getting himself used to the world of Yardrat to, just kind of scope out the joint. But one day, one of the lead practitioners of their martial arts inquires about the Saiyans' arrival. They've kind of been happy to see a newcomer, but now they want to know why he's even there. Kakarot states that he had just gotten from the planet Namek and hoped to be heading back home to Earth, but got lost on the way. He had just defeated Lord Frieza, and— "What? Frieza's gone?" shouts a raspy voice from behind a curtain. The Yardratians scatter, and a tall black-haired humanoid appears from some shawls. It's Raditz. "There's no mistaking it, brother." Kakarot is stunned. Of all things to expect, he didn't expect Raditz to be here. The two then shake hands, and Kakarot begins to explain what happened on Namek to his brother. Raditz is left astonished. After thousands of years of no Super Saiyans, two of them show up at the same time, and they are related to him. Ha! I knew it! Saiyan elites, royal blood, it all meant nothing. Us low-class warriors showed them, just like Father told us way back when. Say, Kakarot, you think you could teach me that power? Kakarot is unsure. After all, this is only the second time that they've actually been in the same room together. He and Raditz. He'd come to Earth to try and invade it before. Sure, their mother had faith in him, and it was cool that he had a brother, but he couldn't just teach him Super Saiyan willy-nilly to someone because he barely knew the guy. If you teach me, I can teach you something in return. Something that will make that craft that you arrived on here obsolete. That's right. Raditz offers up the gift of instant transmission in return. Now you see, here's what happened to Raditz, and you've been waiting for this for 7 parts, so here we go. Now after faking his demise, Raditz had set out into the stars to rebuild his life. Now even though he hadn't convinced Vegeta that he was really gone, as you know, they didn't really care about his fate. They were obsessed on Kakarot and Gine. As for their taller family member, he took to being free like a duck to water. After spending some time focusing on getting a little bit stronger, now he was free from the scolding of Vegeta and Nappa, Raditz felt then ready to give back what he'd taken from all of the civilizations that he, Vegeta and Nappa had destroyed on the behest of Frieza. It's time for some redemption. It's time for Freedom Fighter Raditz to arise. However, without a scouter, Raditz was reliant on news that came about from hearsay and gossip. Whilst this was a nice change of pace and all, it didn't half make things sort of hard to get started in trying to find things to save. It was a slow start, but the Saiyan did begin to direct his instincts for a good fight into fighting for good, doing his mother proud. The Saiyan got a particular passion actually for this, and soon gained a reputation as a rather ironic saviour. A Saiyan turning good? Who would have seen that coming? Then, one day, Raditz found himself on Yardrat after reports of a rogue outfit having tried to take over the planet and trying to find out the secret of instant transmission, something that was rumoured to be sourced on Yardrat. The holy grail of transportation was in people's hands. Just capture a Yardratian and then use it in your spaceship or whatever. But Raditz stepped in, now having gotten the tech to listen into distress calls. After putting that threat to bed, Raditz was granted an audience with a leader, and granted sanctuary in Yardrat, free to call this his home in between jaunts saving the galaxy. Since then, Raditz learnt the secret of instant transmission as another gift, as well as starting to focus on his training again. And here we are. Kakarot can feel that Raditz is a fair bit stronger than he was on Earth, but let's be real here, nowhere near as strong as he or Gine. His brother didn't really want to hear that though. However, Raditz feels that his time here on Yardrat has run its course. The Ardratians are nice, friendly people and all, but in between jobs, it's kinda dull here. He's the only Saiyan. With Frieza gone, perhaps now he can finally be with his family. Hey, bro, you gonna teach me that thing of yours or what?
What? Oh, yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, I have nothing better to do, but teach me Super Saiyan when we get back to Earth.
It's Earth, bro.
Yeah, that.
And in much quicker time, Kakarot has learned instant transmission. And the first thing he does with it is to go and find King Cold. Wait, what? His power is similar to Frieza, and it isn't that far away from here, so why not tackle it?
You want to take out the king? He's stronger than Frieza, or so I hear.
Frieza was way stronger. He was using like less than 1% of his power before Mom and I showed up. Don't worry, I can do this. Raditz's mind is blown. Frieza was scary back then? It's a good thing he wasn't on Namek then. You wanna come watch, bro? Kakarot grabs Raditz's shoulder, and before he can say no, the two of them are now facing King Cold.
What? What are you doing here?
Raditz is trying to think of a good excuse and try and sound heroic.
We are here to stop you, vile king!
Wait a second. Is that you, Raditz?
Oh, I thought Vegeta had finished you off years ago. How have you been? You know, I thought I'd try and be polite before I would then eviscerate you for daring to invade my chambers.
Kakarot steps forward and then explains to the king that his son is no more, and they are here to do the same thing to him. But King Cold doesn't believe them for a second. That is until Kakarot powers up and blasts a hole straight through him. Kinda like what Trunks did to him. That was fast. Raditz is amazed. He hadn't seen the power of a Super Saiyan before now, and here it is. Kakarot then powers down again and turns to Raditz. Hey bro, let's go home, I'm starving.
Sure.
Moments later, Gine and Grandpa Gohan are just gardening outside their house with Chi-Chi and Gohan also playing/training outside, when all of a sudden, Raditz and Kakarot just show up without any kind of warning. Yo! Everybody stops what they're doing, and Gine is just elated. She hugs her two sons. Raditz, you came back! It's over! Freezer's gone! We can be a family now!
I know, Mother. Cold's gone too. Kakarot took care of that one.
Aw, he was easy. You could have done it, Mom. Aw, shoot, says Gine. I wanted to go then. Everybody bursts into laughter, and this is the first time that Raditz has done so in a long time. But suddenly, the power has appeared near Idiot Rock. It's Trunks. We know it is, but they don't. When everybody heads on over to that location, and I mean everyone, they find a yellow craft with a lavender-haired boy waiting outside it, trying to figure out what's happening. You know, Frieza was supposed to show up. Goku? What? But then, he can sense these powers coming close to his ship, including the tall ones. Ah, good. He decided to stay after all. Raditz has no clue who this person is. He has no clue about anything right now. He literally just got here. He just saw King Cold be taken out. Basically, this has been the weirdest day of his life. Trunks spots Goku and beckons him over to deliver the news about the androids, but Raditz insists to listen in too, but Gine holds him back, clutching onto his arm. Raditz, let your brother speak to the nice young stranger. She had been longing to mollycoddle Raditz again for the first time in what seems like forever. Trunks keeps his cards close to his chest though, and simply gives Kakarot the heart medicine and then bids him farewell. But he then says one more thing. Your brother, find him a girlfriend. He looks kinda lonely. And with that, Trunks departs, and Kakarot heads on over to the gang. Okay guys, we got ourselves 3 years to train for a new enemy who will show up and try and take over the world. Who's with me? Raditz pats his brother's shoulder, and the others all cheer in support. That is, except for Gine. She looks unsure, and that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you guys think? Are you happy that Raditz is here to stay, seemingly? How will the Android and Cell sagas fare for our Z fighters with an extra recruit? Leave a comment below, and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!